so mimi napiga intro and we jump right into the questions.
Turn the big intro.
Okay. So say action.
Action.
Hi, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Reels with Nikki. I'm Nikki Okama. So karibuni sana. It's been a minute, but anyway, nimewamiss tangu last week. Hiyo wiki wa mrefu bila nyinyi. But today I'm going to be answering questions that people have asked online. Na hawajapata majibu, or maybe wamepata majibu. I don't know, but like there are online questions that people ask about blind people. So yeah, those are the questions I'm going to answer today. So yes, we're going to jump right into it.
Question number 1. How do you read any post? How do you read anything?
So in terms of post, how do I read post? I use, kwa lapi I have JAWS. Other people have NVDA, and for the MacBook users, they have, I don't know what they have. I really don't know what they have. Anyway, but on phone I have VoiceOver. That's for iOS. On Android they have TalkBack, and for those who are visually impaired as well, comment down below and let me know what else you have, because I know you have a lot of options, but those are the ones I know.
Question number 2. Do you understand what colors are, or are they just impossible to understand without sight?
So colors, what I can say about colors is that it depends. The person you're talking to, were they born blind, or did they acquire blindness at a certain age? Because for me, I was not born blind. I became blind when I was 10. So technically that's the point where I now became totally blind. But before that, obviously, I knew colors. I loved pink and purple, and that's still my favorite color. Yeah, so those are still my favorite colors. I know gold, I know silver. In fact, kwa makucha zangu sasa niko na purple. But yeah, purple and silver. But yeah, I know colors because I've seen them before. I don't know about totally people who are born blind, so yeah.
Okay, now question number 3. How do you learn the locations of the keys on a keyboard and how to spell? Also, are you aware of the requirement that drives through ATMs, or do ATMs have brains that you can use?
Okay, so for your keyboard, the keyboard thing. So like, there's a day I was having this conversation with a sighted person, and they told me they are taught, like, okay, so how we are taught is how you're taught. Like, so you place your both your thumbs on J and F, I think. So when you place your fingers like that, you can just maneuver the whole keyboard. But as a blind person, you're taught the whole keyboard before you start being taught packages. So if you've watched my first video, where back to the beginning, I talked about how I went to be taught packages. So you're taught the whole keyboard so that you know where everything is before you now start being taught Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and etc. What was the second question?
ATMs.
ATM. So me personally, sijawahi toa pesa kwa ATM. I'm not gonna lie. But there's no braille. Best believe hakuna braille. I've been there and hakuna braille. So I don't know how other blind people use it, but I will find out and let you all know.
Okay, question number 4. Do you ever find people are more condescending to you as a result of your condition?
Yeah, I guess, because kuna times, I mean, as a teenager, a guy just told me that you're very pretty, but there's just one problem. So me being myself, but that was a very confident teenager, or even kid in general, comes up, so what is the problem? He goes like, you get what I mean. And I'm like, no, say it. Akasema, it's because you're blind. I was like, oh, that's that. Oh. So gradually I came to understand that definitely people will treat me differently. Definitely there are people who will belittle me for being blind. And mind you, there are people who, it's like the way in general life, there are people who are better than you, and there are people who you are better than. And you will realize the people who treat you less is because they are wounded. So, not my cup to, it's not my thing to deal with. So.
Anyway, question number 5. Can you cry with your condition? If not, what do you think it will feel like to cry?
Where? I'm sorry, but that question is hilarious. So I don't know. I didn't know that there are blind people who can't cry. Because if you're asking that question, it comes from a point of maybe you, or it comes from a point of you don't know. You're just asking. So if you don't know, you're just asking. Me, I can cry. Personally, I cry a lot. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know, because I've talked about it. That's how I cope. That's how I deal with frustration, stress, and stuff like that. I don't know if there are people who cannot cry, because it means your tear duct was completely damaged or something. I don't know, but I can cry. I know a lot of other people, blind people, who can cry. They don't have a problem with tears. Yeah, so I know how it feels to cry.
Okay, have you managed to remember what a few things look like?
Yes, I have. I know how a couple of things look like. I know how do I put it? I know how a phone looks like. I know how TVs look like. I know how radios look like. I have the radio in my room is the same one that we had when I was still sighted, the one that I grew up using to listen to music and dance. So I know that one. I know all the decorations in our house, because they're like, most of them are like my mom's medals, and she used to be a volleyballer. So yeah, those are things I know. We have those two decorations that you just zinakwanga kwenye and they never go. So I know how they look. I know how clothes look. Yeah, because I use this sense of touch and I can imagine the image in my head. Though najua kuna vitu zenye mimi imagine, maybe I imagine out of proportion, but yes, that's like cars. I don't know if Mark may change venye inafanana, but yeah, I know how cars look like. Yeah, I had to say Mark specifically, Mercedes. Woo!
Okay, could you fall asleep with your eyes open?
No, but I know there are people who can, which if I was sighted, I would find that very creepy. I would find that very creepy. No offense to anyone, by the way, who does, but I don't know. I don't.
How do you recognize people?
Through their voices, scent, their voices, sometimes by the way they walk, yeah, the steps they make.
When you navigate the city, do you look, read, feel for certain landmarks which allow you to stay on course?
Yes. So because most people in Kenya use white canes, that you feel for a certain landmark. So you're taught, like when you're being taught ONM, which is orientation and mobility, they teach you according to your route. So like they'll teach you, ukifika hapa you'll feel this, ukifika hapa you'll feel this, ukifika like that. So you, as you teach yourself now, when you're going to a different place, you will have to have landmarks that show you where you're going. So tapata, if you've seen a blind person walking, you'll notice when they're walking towards a wall and you're seeing them walking towards a wall and you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to hit themselves. It's a landmark. So yeah.
Being blind, do you ever feel you miss out in life, or do you take it all in your stride?
There are times I feel like I'm missing out. There are times I don't. Sometimes I even forget that I'm blind. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not something that I consistently think about, but I'm not gonna lie, there are people who actually make sure they've reminded me I'm blind. So yeah, that's how I remember that I am. But yeah, I sometimes feel like I'm missing out on some activity when some activities are happening.
What's your number one frustration?
My number one frustration. Oh my gosh, you're such an inspiration. Na sayo ni shule nimefunga. Ama nimeamka asubuhi nikaenda class. Like something as common as waking up and going to class is not worthy of being an inspiration. I think I should be an inspiration to someone because I have, even with my challenges, I've been able to, I don't know, do something extremely big. I've opened my own company. I'm making impact in the world in a very positive way, and if they're seeing the impact in other people's lives, then when you say I'm an inspiration, I can feel it. I know what you mean. But sasa nimefunga shoelace, a blind person has tied their shoelace, ama a blind person has umemuita tao akafika tao. How is that an inspiration? You know, that's what I mean.
Anyway, it's all done for today.
Thank you so much for watching my video. Those questions were interesting and weird at the same time, but I'm both. So yay! Thank you so much for watching my video. Now Apenda, keep following, keep subscribing, keep liking my videos. Thumbs up if you like anything in the video. Comment down below if you have any more questions, if you have any more things to tell me. Najua kuna watu wananiambia mavitu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nawapenda wote. Mob love, peace and happiness.